So I first started modelling in the first year of college. I was very lucky because they happened to be having a fashion show that year, which they had stopped running the past 3 years. And there was a poster just saying models auditioning happening, and my best friend gave me a nudge and he suggested that I apply for it. So without thinking about it, I just wrote my name down and went on about the auditions, and then I got picked. So after then it gave me the confidence and maybe the idea that I could perhaps begin modelling, and then that was when I first contacted Distinct, who gladly took me on.
I was scouted in Spar in Monkstown. I was wearing these really odd shorts. They were from 70s Czech Republic, and they were sort of tartan pleated old Czech man shorts. So I was pretty surprised when I got approached.
So first, when I was 14, I was shopping with my mum, and this lady approached us and she asked me would I be interested in modelling, but my mum said I was too young, so just to wait a few more years and just see if I still wanted to do it when I was 18. And then when I was 18, I was scouted on Instagram, so I think it's more like a new way of finding models, but that's how I was first scouted when I was 18, and then I was going for a few test shoots and stuff. And then I met Distinct, and I've been with them since.
When I first moved to Dublin, I went to an open day with Anne for her original agency, Absolute, and then when that progressed into becoming Distinct Model Management, she thankfully took me along with her, and here I am.
So, I went on a trip skiing with my whole school, little old me, when I was 16. And I was on my way back and we were all in our pyjamas and I just looked horrible, like my frizzy hair, and I was 16, so yeah. And I was with my friends and I saw this guy looking at me from up, and he was doing the belt and the thing, and he was looking at me and I was like, oh my god. And I was with my teachers and everything, so yeah. And he came up to me when he was doing the little trolley thing, and he's like, have you ever considered modelling? And I was like, no. So he's like, oh, you really should go. I used to work for Distinct Model Management, and I know the woman Anne who works for them. And so he came back with this sick bag, you know, the bags that you get when you're on plane and you're like gonna get sick. And he had Anne's email and Distinct's email and Instagram and all the details. And I was like, thank you so much. And all my friends were like, oh my god, queen and what? And it was like this whole big thing. I actually felt like a queen. And then I went, I didn't tell my mum and dad because I was like too terrified that they would say no. So I went and I emailed, and Anne emailed back and said, okay, so just send some pictures in. Obviously I didn't have any professional pictures, so my sisters had like lamps and like a iPhone 1, I don't even know, like a Nokia camera or something, and took like 3 little pathetic pictures of my face. And I look back and it's just awful, but I went in and Anne was like, yeah, and then, yeah, that's my story.
So I started modelling when I was walking around Dundrum Town Centre when I was 16, and there was a model agency there doing a casting for a TV show called The Model Scouts, and they asked me to join the queue and audition for it, so I did. And then 9 months later I came runner-up in the TV show and they offered me a contract with IMG, so that's how I started.
So I got into modelling first when I was 14. I had a few agencies approach me when I was just walking on the street because I was a very long, slender teen. I did a test shoot, but I didn't quite like it, so I stopped. And then when I moved to Dublin for studies, I decided to send my pictures to Distinct, and I got in, so here I am.
So when I was 15, I was contacted through Facebook from by Cal Stringer, who was a booker, and Distinct has only opened up like about a year or whatever, and I'd already been in an agency for like 6 months, and I wasn't really too busy or whatever, so when I obviously had the opportunity to go into Distinct, I took it, and so just from there. So I'm with Distinct now 4 years.
I got into modelling when I was about 16 when a girl in my year wanted to be a photographer, so she asked me if I wanted to do a shoot, and I did it. So when we were there, one of the girls who was in this agency told me about it, and she said I should go for it. So I did, and I met Anne, and then I met Paloma and everyone in this agency. So yeah, it's pretty good.
I always wanted to be an actor, so I studied to be an actor, and I realized that modeling and acting would be walk side by side, and I was invited to do some modeling jobs, and actually my career as an actor always walked together with modeling. I didn't believe that I could be a model, just when I started doing stuff and started to get jobs and everything, and I said, okay, that's good, and I like that as well.
I started modelling when a guy from my local town, he is an editor of a magazine in Dublin, MFI magazine, and he first contacted me if I was interested to get involved, and he helped me out a good bit at the start, doing some test shoots, and eventually I got to know a couple of photographers around Dublin. One in particular helped me out a lot, and from just going to various test shoots I got to meet Paloma at one of them, and I found out she was running this thing along with Anne, and she brought me in and I had an interview, and from there it's been going on since then.
Well, I got scouted whenever I was 19. I was living in Belfast and studying marketing at University of Ulster, and my mum and my boyfriend at the time had heard something on RT advertised called the Model Scouts, and I didn't think anything of it at the time, but then I did actually go down to the audition. It was held in Victoria Square in Belfast, and I wasn't expecting anything. I really wasn't. I was just going with my gut, just seeing what happened, and before I knew it I was in their top 12, and it was an amazing experience. So it was a nice way to get into modelling and to learn it like that, and I got to travel around to Australia and Paris with the team, and I made some friends for life in that programme, and you knew who you are, and yeah, it just started from there. And even though I didn't win the programme, I was very lucky to get a contract, and I was able to travel all over the world.